The Aramaic and Palestinian Targum. Numbers chapter 22. And the children of Israel journeyed, and encamped in the plains of Moab, near the passage of the Jordan, towards Jericho. And Balak Bar-Zippor saw what Israel had done to the Amoree, and the Moabite feared before the people greatly, because they were many, and they were distressed in their life before the sons of Israel. And they said to the elders of the Midiani, for the people had been won, and the kingdom won until that day, now will this congregation consume all that is about them, as the ox eateth up the grass of the field. And Balak Bar-Zippor, a Midianite, was the king of Moab at that time, without a Midianite being such at another time. For so was the tradition among them, to have kings from this people, and from that by turns. And he sent unto Laban the Amorite, who was Bileam, so called because he it was who sought Bileavera to swallow up Amama, the people of the house of Israel, the son of Beor, who was insane from the vastness of his knowledge, and would not spare Israel, the descendants of his sons and daughters. And the house of his habitation at Pardan was at Pethor, a name signifying the interpreter of dreams. It was built in Aram upon the Pharat, in a land where the children of the people worshipped and adored him. To him did Balak send to call him, saying, Behold, a people hath come out of Mizraim, and, lo, they cover the face of the earth, and are encamped over against us. Over and against me, beg your pardon. But now I entreat, come, curse this people for me, for they are stronger than I, if I may but be able to meet them, those smaller than they, and drive them from the land. For I know that he whom thou doest bless is blessed, and him whom thou doest curse is cursed. And the elders of Moab of the Midian went, with the price of divination sealed up in their hands, and came to Bileam, and told him of the words of Balak. Jerusalem. And the sages of the Moabites and of the Midianites went with sealed letters in their hands, and came to Bileam, and spake with him the words of Balak. And he said to them, Abide here tonight, and I will return you word as the Lord shall speak with me. And the princes of Moab stayed with Bileam, and the word from before the Lord came to Bileam, and he said, What men are these who are now lodging with thee? And Bileam said before the Lord, Balak Bar-Zippor, king of the Moabite, hath sent messages to me, saying, Behold, a people hath come out of Mizraim, and cover the face of the land. Now therefore come, curse them for me, so that I may be able to go fight and drive them away. And the Lord said unto Balaam, Thou shalt not go with them, nor curse the people, for they are blessed of me from the day of their fathers. And Balaam rose up early, and said to the princes of Moab, Go unto your country, for it is not pleasing before the Lord to permit me to journey with you. And the princes of Moab arose and came to Balak, and said, Balaam has refused to come with us. But Balak added to send other princes, more and nobler than they. And they came to Balaam, and said to him, Thus saith Balak bar Zippor, Let not anything hinder thee from coming to me. For honouring I will honour thee greatly, and whatever thou biddest me I will do. Come therefore now, and curse this people for me. And Balaam answered the servants of Balak and said, If Balak would give me out of his treasury a house full of silver and gold, I have no power to transgress the decree of the word of the Lord my God, to fabricate a word either small or great. But I entreat you to remain here this night also, that I may know what the word of the Lord may yet speak with me. And the word came from before the Lord unto Balaam in the night, and said to him, If these men come to call thee, arise, go with them, only the word that I shall speak with thee thou shalt do thou. And Balaam arose in the morning and saddled his ass, and went with the princes of Moab, Jerusalem. And Balaam arose in the morning and made ready his ass, and went with the princes of Moab. But the anger of the Lord was provoked, because he would go, that he might curse them. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way to be an adversary to him. But he sat upon his ass, and the two young men, Jannes and Jambres, were with him. And the ass discerned the angel of the Lord standing in the way with a drawn sword in his hand, and the ass turned aside out of the road to go into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to make her return unto the way, and the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path that was in the midst between the vineyards, Jerusalem. And the angel of the Lord stood between the vineyards, a hedge being on this and on that side, in the place where Jacob and Laban raised the mound, the pillar on this side, and the observatory on that side, which they raised, that neither should pass that limit to do evil to the other. And the ass discerned the angel of the Lord, and thrust herself against the hedge, and bruised Balaam's foot by the hedge. And he smote her again, for the angel was invisible to him. And the angel of the Lord yet passed on, and stood in a distant place, where there was no way to turn either to the left or to the right. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord, and fell under Balaam. And Balaam's wrath was strong, so that he smote the ass with his staff. 10 things were created after the world had been founded at the coming in of the Sabbath between the suns: the manna, the well, the rod of Moshe, the diamond, the rainbow, the cloud of glory, the mouth of the earth, the writing of the tables of the covenant, the demons, and the speaking ass. And in that hour the word of the Lord opened her mouth and fitted her to speak. And she said to Balaam, What have I done to thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the ass, Because thou hast been false to me. If there was now a sword in my hand, I would kill thee. And the ass said to Balaam, Woe to thee, Balaam, thou wanting in mind when me, an unclean beast, who am to die in this world and not enter the world to come, thou art not able to curse. How much less canst thou harm the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, on account of whom the world has been created, and whom thou art going to curse? So hast thou deceived these people, and hast said, This is not my ass, she is alone in my hand, and my horses remain in the pasture. But am I not thine ass, upon whom thou hast ridden from thy youth unto this day? And have I been used to do thus with thee? And he said, No. Jerusalem. The ass said to Balaam, Woe to thee, Balaam, the wicked, wanting in understanding and wisdom. Behold, me, an unclean beast, whom am to die in this world, and not to enter the world to come? Thou hast not power with all thy skill to curse, how much less the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, on whose account the world was created at the beginning? And why art thou going to curse them? For thou hast deceived the people, saying to them, This is not my ass, she is alone in my hand. But am I not thy ass, upon whom thou hast ridden from thy youth until this day? Did I indeed intend to do thus with thee? And he said to her, No. And the Lord unveiled the eyes of Balaam, and he beheld the angel of the Lord standing in the way, his sword unsheathed in his hand, and he bowed and worshipped on his face. And the angel of the Lord said to him, Why hast thou smitten thine ass 3 times? Behold, I have come out to withstand thee, and the ass, bearing, saw, and turned from the way. It is known before me that thou seekest to go to curse the people, a thing that is not pleasing to me. And the ass discerned me, and turned away from me these 3 times. Had she not turned from me, surely now I would have slain thee, and spared her alive. And Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, because I knew not that thou wast standing against me in the way. But now, if it please thee, I will go back. But the angel of the Lord said to Balaam, Go with these men, but the word that I will tell thee, that thou shalt speak. And Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And Balak heard that Balaam was coming, and came out to meet him at a city of Moab, on the border of Arnon, which is on the side of the frontier. And Balak said to Balaam, Did I not send to call thee? Why comest thou not to me? Didst thou not indeed say that I could not come, not do thy honour? And Balaam said to Balak, Behold, I have come to thee, and now I am able to say anything to thee. And now am I able to say anything to thee. But the word that the Lord shall ordain for my mouth, that I must speak. And Balaam went with Balak. And they came to a city surrounded with walls, to the streets of the great city, the city of Sihon, which is Beerosha. And Balak slew oxen and sheep, and went to Balaam, and the princes, and those who were with them. And at the time of the morning, Balak took Balaam, and brought him up to the high place of the idol Peor. And he saw from thence the camp of Dan, which went at the rear of the people, and they were discovered under the cloud of glory. This is the end of the chapter.